Now it's time for America's Talking, with headlines from across the country that you can find in your inbox with the Center Square newsletter, free at thecentersquare.com. The conflict between Iran and the United States and Israel, creating the worst energy crisis ever faced in the world, according to the head of the International Energy Agency. The military conflict effectively halting ship traffic through the Strait of Hormuz, the transit route of 20% of global oil and liquefied natural gas supplies in 2025. The Center Square energy industry reporter Alton Wallace reports the IEA chief says that Iran's attacks on nations around the Persian Gulf have damaged 84 facilities and resulted in suspension of 13 million barrels of crude production each day. Restoring production to levels before the February 28th military strikes could take more than 2 years. This follows years of energy instability caused by Russia's invasion of Ukraine, the conflict beginning in 2022 that effectively cut Russia's pipeline gas to Europe by 90%. In the U.S., gas at the pump down from last week, but still nearly $1 more per gallon from last year, according to AAA. A proposed constitutional amendment on the May ballot would liquidate 3 protected education funds to help finance permanent raises for Louisiana teachers and school support staff by paying down retirement debt. The Center Square Louisiana State Government reporter Nolan McKendry reports Amendment number 3 will ask voters to dissolve Louisiana Education Quality Trust Fund, Louisiana Quality Education Support Fund, and Education Excellence Fund, and use that money to pay down teacher retirement costs and also give teachers a raise. Teachers would receive a permanent $2,200 raise under the amendment. Because they already receive a $2,000 annual stipend, the net increase for many teachers would be about $250. Putting the raise into the Constitution would make it permanent rather than temporary. Voters rejected a similar proposal in March of 2025 with Amendment 2, which was a sweeping tax and fiscal rewrite that also included permanent pay raises for school personnel. This year's proposal is a little bit more narrow. The Tennessee House of Representatives approved a bill Tuesday that protects students from discipline if they use social titles that don't match a teacher's biological sex. The Center Square Associate Editor Kim Jarrett reports Senate Bill 1665 in Tennessee also covers teachers, state employees, and state contractors. Republican State Representative Aaron Mayberry told the Center Square he introduced the bill after questions from constituents and his own 14-year-old daughter. Mayberry said a female teacher in Richview Middle School in Clarksville requested that the classroom being taught to use MX, a gender-neutral courtesy title, typically adopted by people identifying as non-binary. Mayberry said that he also heard that a male teacher at Kenwood High School identified as a female told students to start using Mrs. Knoxville Democrats state lawmaker Gloria Johnson called the bill bigoted and mean-spirited. And back to Wisconsin, it was the second in the Midwest and 12th among all states in per capita correctional spending, according to a new wide-ranging report on Wisconsin's criminal justice system. The Center Square reporter John Stife reports combined spending for the system and all of its functions between local governments in the state is between $4.5 and $6 billion to taxpayers annually, according to the study from the Wisconsin Policy Forum. Law enforcement spending of $328 per resident in the local level was slightly below the national average, but state spending on law enforcement was the lowest of any state in the country at just $8 per resident, according to the report. The next lowest spending state was Florida with $32 per resident, while the average in the country was about $60 per resident. There were 22,801 adults in state prisons in 2024, exceeding the 17,648 capacity in Wisconsin that the facilities were designed to house. And that's just some of what America's talking about. Get these stories in the description below. Get other stories by signing up for the newsletter at thecentersquare.com.